Okay, so I've gotten you caught up on where things are, and there's just one more thing I want to share with you. This has to do with pursuing your dreams. You know, if you just have an idea, thinking about something that you want or think you want, doesn't mean you have to pursue it. It's just kind of daydreaming. But if you have an idea, you have a desire, you have something you truly want to accomplish, then that is an idea, a dream that you're going to pursue. And here is how I would lay this out. On this side, I call this the resistance factor. Now, here's your dream, here's your idea. If it's just, it's still in your head, and the resistance factor at that point is 0 to like maybe 0.5. Resistance at that stage might look something like this. You say something to a friend or a family member about something you want to do, and they look at you and say, "Why would you want to do that?" And that's kind of resistance, and you think, oh, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe your friends don't approve, or your family doesn't approve. So there's like a little bit of resistance. It's not a lot, but it's some, so it's like 0.5. But you start to take action, you step out, and you want to begin making it happen. So that first step, the resistance level goes up. And as you continue to move toward, and there's going to be an up and down motion, because that's pretty much how it always works. But as you move forward in pursuing your dreams, your resistance factor goes up and up and up. And this is a lot like the earthquake measuring system. It's times 10 for each step that resistance goes up. It's not just one step, it's times 10 to 2 and times 10 to 3 and times 10 to 4. So resistance goes up quickly as you are pushing toward accomplishing something that you want. Now I want to tell you something about resistance. All this week, there's been resistance, obviously, in the video you saw. You saw the images of stuff that's been happening this week. And, you can see that there was resistance. There were lessons learned. But we are all taught two things, cause and effect, as to how things happen, how they come into existence. There is an idea, cause, and then there's an effect, something pushing back or something, at the other end of cause. But that's half the story. That's 2 things out of 4. The whole story is that there are four things that have to happen for anything to come into existence. It's not just cause and effect. That's half the story. And this isn't my idea. This is ancient teaching that was passed down through the generations from lip to ear, but it's been lost today to us, to modern society. And this is something I've studied and taught and thought about for almost 20 years. And it is so powerful, and I'm so thankful that I had these ideas to work with through so many aspects of my life, and especially this week, because this is very fresh and new, and I've been met with inner terror this week. The thoughts of, oh my God, are we making the right decision? Have we made a mistake? Is this the wrong thing to be doing? All those thoughts come up, and that is mental resistance. Then there's outer, physical resistance. And here's how everything comes into existence. I'm going to show you the 4 steps. The first step is that there is an idea. Okay? This is the seed stage. That's the first step of how anything comes into existence. The second step is that there will be resistance. The third step is form. And the 4th step is use. Now, everything that comes into existence goes through these 4 steps, and in this order. The order is never switched, twisted, changed, turned backwards, upside down. It's this order: idea, resistance, form, and use. Nothing here is going to get left out for anything that comes into existence. Now, I invite you not to believe a word I said, but check it out for yourself, question it, observe, and see if you can think of anything that doesn't go through all 4 of these stages. You don't go from idea to use. You don't go from idea to form. You don't go from, you don't ever skip resistance. And that's actually the big thing. We all tend to want to quit when we hit the second step. And if we just get to the next step, if we just push, if we just use resistance for what it's intended to do, which is to guide, direct, teach, and strengthen, because it is resistance that gives us understanding about how to move forward. I'm going to give you some examples. Take a cup. A cup, someone has an idea. They see the cup. It's a beautiful cup. It's a great cup. But it's an idea. You can't drink out of it. It has no shape. It's just an idea. But you take the clay, you put it on the potter's wheel, and you take the hands, which are resistance to that clay, creates that cup, and then you have form. Now you have shape. But it still can't be used. It has to be fired. It has to be painted. It has to be, covered so that you can safely drink from it. Now you have a cup that can be used. And the same thing with this property. It was an idea in Andrea's head. I want a piece of property, I want to build a house. Okay, great. And then there's the resistance of finding that property, of talking to people, of not finding the right place the first time out. All of that stuff. And then we found it. We found it, the shape of it, the place that it is. And there's this potential for use. But this whole thing starts again. The idea is to put a house here. Well, it's raw land. So it's still an idea until we start to move forward and clear that land and build that house. And resistance comes up. Relationships, the same thing happens. So there's the meeting the person and all the excitement and, the newness. And then comes resistance when 2 people run into things they don't agree on. And we all tend to want to run when resistance hits. But if we push past that and let form come into being, let there be shape and use, well, at that point we may say, hey, this isn't what I wanted, and walk away. But now you at least know what you're walking away from. When at the resistance stage, you don't know yet, because you haven't gone through it to form and use so that you really know what it is that would come from that idea in, the full form and use of it. Hey, you could reach that point and say, this isn't what I wanted. It's what I thought I wanted. But now that I'm here, it's not what I want. You walk away, and that's okay. But if you walk away at the resistance stage, you don't know what you're walking away from. Because resistance is always there to strengthen us, to strengthen everything. A blade of grass goes into the ground as a seed, and the little sprout comes up through the resistance of the soil and rocks and animals and birds that, that could pick it out of the ground, all kinds of things to make it to the sun. And that's what makes a strong plant, is that resistance. It's what makes a strong animal, is that resistance. And it's what makes strong people, is resistance. So it is part of how everything comes into existence. Test it. Try this idea out for yourself and see what you think. Observe, find out if that's what you see. So that idea has helped me many times in my life, many times. And this week, very much so, because I recognize that what I'm experiencing is resistance. So that gives me the strength, the mental fortitude. J2, we were talking about this in the car on the way back from Tulsa. um, to recognize that there is one thing that helps you get through resistance almost better than anything else, and that's gratitude. Just be grateful. Be grateful for where you are right now in this moment. And, I've had some tough moments this week. I've wanted to, pull out my hair, cry. I've wanted to do all kinds of things. And I stop and I just think, okay, in the midst of all that emotion, what can I do? I can be grateful. I can be grateful to be here right now, this minute, this moment. I hope that helps you in some way. If it does, post a comment. If you don't agree or whatever, I'm open. Post a comment. Okay, I'm going to get this stuff edited. I got to get 2 videos done tonight. I hope I can get one uploaded. Thank you for hanging out with us here at Lovin' Truckin'. I'm Andrea. Jay is asleep. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.